Hello, and welcome to the Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute 2020 Virtual Commencement. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate the achievements of the class of 2020. Now, it is our pleasure to introduce the 18th President of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, the Honorable Dr. Shirley Ann Jackson.
I welcome our graduates, their families, and their many supporters and friends to the 214th commencement of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. I thank all of you for joining our virtual program today. In my time at Rensselaer, commencement has more than once unleashed a surprise, including in 2002, snow on commencement morning. But none of our celebrations have been as unexpected as this one, which is taking place amidst the greatest disruption in daily life in the United States since World War II. I must begin by saying how very proud I am of all of our students, and especially of you, our class of 2020, for handling the transition to remote learning so gracefully. I also must thank you for the sacrifices you have made to protect all of us, leaving our Troy campus unexpectedly and unceremoniously, without the opportunity to enjoy your last months with the great friends you have made here and your most important mentors among our faculty and staff. You also have missed out on the culmination of your final semester in our traditional senior week and commencement events, celebrating your achievements, which so deserve celebrating. These are losses without a doubt. Now, many of you are transitioning into a supremely challenging employment market. Others about to start a graduate program are facing another kind of uncertainty, in that it is not yet clear whether your chosen universities will be able to welcome students to their campuses this fall. Here is something to remember, however. No matter what the near future throws at you, you still have the support of the many people who helped you on your college journey, your families and friends, and the entire Rensselaer family. You also have a remarkable education that always will be valued by the world. You have not merely acquired a body of knowledge, you have developed intellectual agility, multicultural sophistication, and a global view. Important attributes I often speak of. If any group of graduates is prepared to generate its own opportunities and to improvise in ambiguous circumstances, it is you, the Rensselaer class of 2020. So stay courageous. You will find a way. Many of you already have overcome tremendous obstacles in your personal lives, including Allie Morgan, who today will receive her doctorate in Science and Technology Studies. Although she enrolled at Rensselaer as an 18-year-old freshman in 2008, her education was derailed for 4 years as she addressed a recurrent staph infection that had followed surgery for a ligament tear during a high school field hockey game, a wound that would not heal, and an amputation. She returned to campus as a 22-year-old freshman, served as an EMT for our campus ambulance service, earned 3 degrees, and will next pursue a medical degree at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai in New York City. Unstoppable is the word that leaps to mind in thinking about Allie, and it is a quality many of you share. Others of you already have faced down considerable fears. For example, Jessica Kugelman, captain of the women's swimming and diving team, was quite reasonably shaken by a crash on a 3-meter diving board that injured her ear. This was her good ear. She is deaf in the other. So she feared becoming hearing impaired and developed vertigo that left her unable to execute even the simplest dive. But she refused to be paralyzed by panic and patiently, tenaciously reacquired all of her self-assurance to the point of being named the Liberty League Diver of the Year after a dominant performance in this year's league championships. Indeed, tenacity is a Rensselaer cultural characteristic. The rigor of our curriculum both demands and develops it. So do not give up on your dreams. It is important to remember also that every generation has its unique challenges, and that Rensselaer people always have found a way to turn difficult times into opportunities to make a better world. For example, the Rensselaer graduates of just over 100 years ago also had to contend with a deadly pandemic and with a world at war. In fact, the spread of the Spanish flu, as that deadly disease was called, was greatly exacerbated by troop movements during World War I and the close proximity in which soldiers lived and fought. Appearing in 1918 and continuing in waves around the world for 2 years, Spanish flu is estimated to have killed more than 2% of the world's population, 50 million people. Admiral Louis B. Combs, of the Rensselaer class of 1916, was among those braving these twin threats just after college. A civil engineer, he enlisted in the Navy in 1917 and was assigned to the Washington Navy Yard to oversee field construction. After the war ended, he continued to serve his country in the Naval Civil Engineering Corps, rising to shape the Corps, including by planning for a mobile construction force ready to build airfields, hospitals, barracks, and warehouses in any theater of war, even under the threat of enemy fire. After the bombing of Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, the plan quickly became a reality with the advent of the Naval Construction Battalions, known as the Seabees, which played a critical role in victory in World War II. Other Rensselaer graduates began their careers during the Great Depression or World War II. Those who came of age during this era are known as the greatest generation because, from their experience of a persistently bleak economy, they learned resilience, selflessness, and an ability to solve problems with limited resources, and then applied those skills so bravely to ensure victory in World War II. Among them were thousands of Rensselaer people who served on active duty. Together, these young people, who faced a very poor outlook in early adulthood, built a period of peace and prosperity in the United States and around the world that has lasted 75 years. It is worth noting that dark and difficult times shift paradigms. and for all the pain they cause, often usher in enlightenment and progress in their aftermath. For example, as young men left their communities in great numbers to serve in World War II, there was a new appreciation on the home front for the capabilities of women. In 1942, Rensselaer enrolled the first two women in degree-granting programs, Lois Graham and Mary Allen Rathbun, a long overdue development that changed Rensselaer and the world for the better. Other Rensselaer alumni and alumnae graduated during the upheaval of the Civil Rights era, the Vietnam War, 9/11, and the Great Recession. But Rensselaer people continued to excel and to make the world a better place. For example, R.J. Scaringe of the Rensselaer class of 2005 knew soon after he arrived in Troy that he was going to turn his passion for automobiles into an emissions-conscious car company. In 2009, armed with a doctorate from MIT in mechanical engineering, he was ready to launch his startup at the most inauspicious possible moment. The country was in the midst of the Great Recession, and General Motors and Chrysler had recently declared bankruptcy. As Dr. Scaringe has said, he never lost confidence that he could do it, but that did not mean he always knew how he would do it. Today, with the backing of Amazon, Ford, and other investors, his company, Rivian, is taking its first orders for all-electric trucks and SUVs designed to make our national love of large, rugged vehicles much more sustainable. I would urge all of you not to lose confidence. Please do not lose confidence. The path forward may not be obvious, but persistence will force it to appear. That is not, however, to minimize the existential threat all of us face at this moment, both to our health and to our economy. Our experience of this pandemic is going to change a great deal, from geopolitics to the ways we relate socially as we go about our lives. It will sweep aside our preconceived notions about supply chains, continuity planning, the nature of work, preparing for and combating infectious diseases of all kinds, and many other considerations. Nonetheless, history shows that Rensselaer people always step into the moment and lead. This is your moment, and Rensselaer students already have stepped up. They already are addressing the severe shortage of personal protective equipment, or PPE, for healthcare workers. In mid-April, the members of our student maker club, The Forge, began recruiting volunteer students and alumni and alumnae with 3D printers at home to produce face shields and ear guards for St. Peter's Health Partners and other hospitals along the East Coast. Meanwhile, after a request for help from our partner in education, Albany Medical Center, a collaboration among our manufacturing staff on campus, led by Director of Manufacturing Innovation Sam Chapone, also has been making face shields, beginning first with 3D printing and then employing plastic injection molding and laser cutting machines. They reduced the time required to make a single face shield from 1.5 hours to around 2 minutes, while developing a new design that offers more protection for healthcare workers. Another request from our affiliate, the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai, led to the rapid invention of a system that uses ultraviolet light to sterilize thousands of protective masks each day. Led by Professor Robert Karlichek, director of our Center for Lighting-Enabled Systems and Applications, or LISA, this multidisciplinary effort included research groups in chemical and biological engineering, civil engineering, and biomedical engineering. The sterilization system was shipped to Mount Sinai in New York City on April 20th of this year. Rensselaer researchers are working to address the COVID crisis in myriad ways, including with drug repurposing investigations of many kinds, such as helping to develop for Mount Sinai a potential therapeutic protocol for COVID-19 with the blood thinner heparin, which binds tightly to the new coronavirus, and where Rensselaer has deep expertise based on the work of Constellation Professor Robert Linhart and Howard P. Iserman Professor Jonathan Dordick. And when Governor Cuomo asked me to join the New York Forward Reopening Advisory Board, which will counsel New York State on easing restrictions in a strategic manner, I, of course, said yes. So graduates, even as many of your plans for this moment are upended, never forget that there are always ways to serve. I urge you to seek out those situations in which your particular interests and talents are needed most. And should your optimism fail you now and then, remember how well educated you are and the lineage to which you belong. 200 years of ingenious Rensselaer people who have devoted themselves to the application of science to the common purposes of life and have made life so much better for so many. We have taught you here how to collaborate and to join forces across disciplines with others whose skills complement your own. COVID-19 has proved how right that approach is, because protecting humanity is at once a challenge in virology, epidemiology, genomics, biochemistry, clinical medicine, data science, material science, logistics and supply chains, economics, public policy, and culture. We have taught you also to take on the hardest of problems, for there, each of us has the opportunity to learn the most and to have the greatest influence. And we have taught you that Rensselaer is a place where we live up to the things we say, including, why not change the world? Rensselaer people always have changed the world, and I expect no less of you. To paraphrase a beautiful statement from the King James Bible, for unto whomsoever much is given, much is required. You have been given a superior education, one that will allow you to determine your own fate. However, because of your skills and gifts, the world will ask you to uplift others. I urge you to answer that call to service, for using one's talent for the benefit of others truly is where happiness is. This pandemic will help you to discover your own strength and resilience. Remember that we all need you, and we are counting on you to carry on the great work, making the world a better place. I wish you Godspeed and every possible success and joy in the years ahead.
We now welcome United States Senior Senator from New York State, the Honorable Chuck Schumer.
Hello to RPI. This is Senator Chuck Schumer, and it's my honor to address the faculty and staff, families and friends of the graduates, but most of all, you, the class of 2020. Now, I'm really sorry that I can't join you in person, as I do just about every year, but I'm grateful that modern technology allows us to still be connected on this very special day. As we all know, these are really difficult times, perhaps more difficult than most of us have ever experienced. And there are two aspects to this pandemic that make things all the more challenging. The first is our uncertainty, our lack of knowledge. How do we get the virus? How do we spread it? How does it affect different people differently? When will we have an effective antiviral medication or a vaccine? And most of all, how soon can we all go back to normal? And the second aspect that is just as bad is that we have to isolate ourselves. We New Yorkers during times of trouble like to come together and embrace each other. After 9/11, I stood with President Bush on the pile. There were no partisan divisions. We came together as Americans and as New Yorkers. After Sandy, I walked the streets and beaches of New York City and Long Island and literally hugged people. But we can't do that now. We have to remain isolated. So the challenges of this moment are truly unique. But so has been our collective response. The fact that we're all finding new ways to do things, like celebrating this graduation virtually, just goes to show you that New Yorkers won't let anything stop us from honoring what's so important in life. Now I'd like to say a quick word to the parents. Nothing will take away your decades of hard work raising your children, for which they and all of us are so very grateful. And while this day may be tempered by worries about the future, at least there's one silver lining. You're not seated way in the balcony. You get to sit next to your son and daughter and give them a hug as they receive their diploma and become an adult before your very eyes. Congratulations to the moms and dads. And one more word of thanks. Today, as we're celebrating, right now there are men and women all across the state and nation who are serving on the front lines, risking their lives in the battle against coronavirus. Doctors and nurses and healthcare workers, pharmacists, ambulance drivers, bus drivers, food workers, police officers, firefighters, and so many more. These people are our heroes. And I'm working in Congress to create a COVID-19 Heroes Fund, which would provide pandemic premium pay to all essential workers. Let's have a virtual round of applause for them. And now to the class of 2020. I know this may not be what you pictured even a few months ago, but today is still your day. All of your hard work has earned you a degree from a fine institution of higher learning, and nothing can take that away from you. Right now, it may feel like the future is a dark hole, but what has been true throughout history is just as true today. That even in times of difficulty, there are always new opportunities, new ways of thinking, of doing things in a better way. So my message to the class of 2020 is simple. It's natural to fear the unknown, but don't let the harshness of this current moment prevent you from seizing opportunities. They're out there. And don't forget, you have incredible assets, college degree from a great institution, and loving families who will have your back through thick and thin. Our society will overcome this pandemic, and so will you. And when the worst is over, we'll need your help to rebuild our country even stronger than it was before. You are our future leaders, and we have faith in you. So to the graduates, I say once again, congratulations. Good luck. Godspeed.
With pleasure, we now welcome the chairman of the Board of Trustees and graduate of the class of 1966, Mr. Arthur F. Golden.
Hello, and congratulations to the class of 2020. I'm Arthur Golden, chairman of the Board of Trustees. A unique class graduating in a very unique time period, one that I'm sure you will long remember. It brings to mind, to me, the saying we have of Rensselaer people, why not change the world? This year, in addition to what you're going to do to change the world, and I'm confident that you will, the world is changing around us. So whatever world we all see is different than what we thought it was 6 months ago, and probably not as we can imagine it would be 6 months from now. But I have every confidence that you will have great careers and do your best and carry on the tradition of Rensselaer people changing the world and adapting to the world as it changes around them. As chairman of the board, I'm going to present the David M. Darren Class of 1940 Counseling Award and announce our merited faculty for 2020. David M. Darren was a faithful friend and former trustee of the Institute. In his honor, this award is given to a member of the faculty who's performed outstanding service in the counseling of undergraduate students and has supported the undergraduate education at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. That undergraduate education, which you are now completing, has always been probably the most important thing that the school does, to send our graduates into the world to accomplish great things intellectually, academically, professionally. Nominations for that award were submitted by faculty, staff, and students, but the recipient was chosen solely by the student membership of Founders, our honor society. It's my privilege to announce that the David M. Darren Counseling Award will be given to an individual who has made a lasting, positive impact on the students of Rensselaer. My honor to present this year's award, Dr. Jeffrey Braunstein, lecturer in the School of Engineering. In addition, and on behalf of the trustees and a host of grateful students, I want to express admiration and gratitude to our faculty who have served the university long and well and during this past year have retired. These people have served us on our campus as inspiring teachers, creative scholars, able administrators, affectionate colleagues, wise counselors, and perhaps most of all, good friends. In appreciation, we acknowledge today the sentiments of students, alumni, faculty, and staff for their longtime service to Rensselaer. And now, as they enter upon a life of greater freedom, we salute them for their past achievements and bind them to us with an honor and enduring title. This year, we recognize Professor Karen Kinnear from the School of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences, Michael Wozni from the School of Engineering. By virtue of the authority of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon them the distinguished permanent faculty title, Professor Emeritus. Thank you.
And now, please welcome Peter A. Konworski, our Vice President for Student Life.
During their studies here, 26 students satisfactorily completed the advanced course in military, naval, or aerospace studies and received commissions as officers. We congratulate all of these officers today. The J. Eric Johnson Prize is awarded to a senior who has spent at least 3 years at Rensselaer and has achieved the highest academic record in their class. This year, Michael James McNicholas completed his undergraduate studies with a perfect 4.0 grade point average. Congratulations, Michael. In addition to acknowledging Michael, our J. Eric Johnson Prize winner, I would like to congratulate the 18 other seniors who achieved this high standard. Anusha Agarwal, Frederick Choi, Daniel Michael DeAngelis, Anna Gabriella Duke Schumacher, Ian M. Ferrer, Timothy Matthew George, Isaac J. Gerstein, Christina Terpsithia Hanas, Alexander Kenneth Jakowski, Linus Kopfer, Anthony Dominic Menino, Caitlin Mustaka, William Ellis Parker, Nicholas Michael Pittman, Nicole Marie Ragone, Siddharth Suri, Emmanuel Samuel Tung, Cody J. Waldecker. Congratulations to all of these 4.0 graduates.
Next, we present to you our graduate student speaker, Alexis Marie Ziemba, who earned her doctorate in biomedical engineering in January of this year.
Graduates, we just spent anywhere from 1 to 7 years standing for hours at the bench, hunched over our keyboards, reading thousands of articles, scrutinizing datasets, hidden from sunlight for those 2 or 3 or 4 letters after our names. Some of us put in months of 60-hour weeks to produce one graph. Some of us have moved across the world and did not see our families for years at a time. Many sacrifices have been made, but with the support of our families, friends, and mentors, we did it. Now we are all leaving with a new expertise. We have cultivated a set of skills that will help us to develop new therapeutics, improve our energy technology, make better business decisions, and so much more. I encourage you all to think about how you can use your skills to make the most impact in our world. I have reflected on this a lot, thinking about when I was most and least successful during my PhD. As a graduate student, I was part of the best team. I worked with people who had a unique biomedical expertise that complemented the work I was doing. Each person had different strengths, knowledge, and skills, and when we combined our forces, we were able to think of more creative ideas and the best experimental approach. And also have better lab potlucks. No graduate student is complete without learning something the hard way, and in my case, was learning how the work of this team was so much powerful than the work of one person. Aiming to protect the brain against injury, I was so proud of myself for developing a novel hypothermic material. So proud that I started thinking about my future Nature paper, because this material was so unlike anything I'd seen in literature. And that was probably for good reason. This neuroprotective material turned out to be not so brain-friendly. Had I engaged in more discussions with the team on this project, I would have learned this a lot sooner. Considering that we are living through one of the biggest challenges most of us will ever face, we need to band together. I imagine many of us are feeling more stressed with hiring freezes, uncertainty with work visas, and a high unemployment rate, but I hope you will all still see this as an opportunity. Difficult problems, including securing a job at this time, require creative solutions. Those letters after our names put us in positions where we can help others in many different ways. Our world needs so many things right now, including the development of new therapeutics and tests, conversion of manufacturing plants to make PPE, rescue of our local businesses, and widespread access to healthcare. So know how valuable your skill set is and know what you're able to contribute. Take your competencies to new fields and surround yourself with teams of people that inspire you and challenge you and know the things you don't. And then, as a collaborative force, why not change the world? Best of luck, class of 2020.
We now introduce the Provost of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, Prabhat Hajela.
Greetings. On behalf of the faculty, let me express my heartfelt congratulations and best wishes to all the graduates. This day defines the beginning of a new phase in your lives, and I'm confident in the knowledge that each of you is well prepared to take on that next challenge that you have already set for yourself. As you move forward in that quest, try and remember that you're now among the privileged few, and with that privilege comes great responsibility. The call for action from that station of responsibility has arrived perhaps sooner than you may have anticipated. You are leaving Rensselaer at a time when the world needs your collective talents to solve the myriad problems of our time. I will look forward with great anticipation to read about your many accomplishments in the months and years ahead. Good luck and Godspeed. Madam President, these advanced students have continued their graduate studies and research and have completed the requirements for their respective doctor's degrees as prescribed by the graduate school and approved by the Board of Trustees. In addition to their studies, they have successfully passed different examinations and have presented and defended dissertations that make fundamental contributions to new knowledge in their fields. The faculty presents them to you at this time as candidates for the doctoral degree and requests that you confer the appropriate degree upon each of them. These are the highest academic degrees the faculty may recommend.
By completing the requirements for the doctoral degree, you have earned an honored place in the community of scholars whose members welcome you and anticipate your contributions to the development of knowledge in your chosen fields. In accordance with the laws of the state of New York, upon the recommendation of the faculty, with the approval of the Board of Trustees, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, I proudly admit each of you to the doctor's degree, with all the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining. Our heartiest congratulations and best wishes for successful careers in your chosen fields.
Madam President, Indicative of the breadth of study now prevalent at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute is the variety of degrees presented to this group in the fields of architecture, engineering, humanities, arts and social sciences, management and business administration, science, and information technology. Madam President, these candidates have met the academic requirements of the graduate school, and the faculty recommends them to you for the master's degrees in their respective fields.
In accordance with the laws of the State of New York, upon the recommendation of the faculty, with the approval of the Board of Trustees, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, I proudly admit each of you to the master's degree, with all the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining. Congratulations and best wishes.
Please join us in welcoming the president of the class of 2020, Sruja Machani, who today will receive a Bachelor of Science degree in biochemistry and biophysics.
Good morning to the class of 2020, family, friends, Dr. Jackson, the Board of Trustees, faculty, and staff. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sruja Machani, and I've had the privilege of serving as the class of 2020 president. Today, it is my honor to address what our graduating class represents. 4 years ago, most of us arrived in Troy for a similar ceremony, convocation. On that day, we were eager freshmen for whom commencement was light years away. Each of us overcame unique obstacles to begin our journey as RPI students. And since then, we've experienced the ups and downs of college life, grown as scholars and as individuals, started to understand our potential, and ultimately paved our ways to this day and this moment. Graduation falls at the end of an extraordinary chapter in our lives, but opens the pages to another. It is a reflection on the labors of the past, the accomplishments of the present, and the possibilities of the future. Many of us are anxious about the future and about embarking on the rest of our lives in a world that is ever-changing. But each one of us will do so with the knowledge and resilience we've gained at Rensselaer. RPI hasn't only instilled in us the tools to succeed as individuals, but also the confidence to persevere against adversity and lead others to better the world. In these unprecedented times, as the world faces global health and economic challenges, it has never needed our young, brilliant minds more. At RPI, we've always been taught to ponder how we can change the world, but that change must originate from within ourselves. We, the members of the class of 2020, are carrying the change we seek in the world. We are capable of embodying the change that we envision for the world. Through our individual actions, our collective impacts will forge a generation of new leaders. As we step into our futures, I hope that we can employ the lessons we've learned at Rensselaer, inside and outside of the classroom, to address every day with innovation, purpose, and aim. My fellow classmates, today is only the first step of your journeys to pursue all of your dreams and continue to achieve excellence. When we reunite in the future, I look forward to seeing the bridges we will build, the wisdom we will gain, and the lives we will touch. Let's take pride in how far we've come and look forward to how far we'll go. On behalf of the class, I would like to extend our gratitude to the faculty, staff, and administration who have unwaveringly supported and mentored us on our paths to success. Congratulations once again to all of the graduates of the class of 2020. The world is waiting for you.
Madam President, the candidates to be introduced have completed the academic requirements for the bachelor's degree as prescribed by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees. They have pursued studies in the schools of architecture, engineering, humanities, arts and social sciences, business and management, science and information technology, and web science. They will be presented by the deans of our 5 schools.
we begin with our Dean of the School of Architecture, Evan Douglas.
Madam President, I have the honor to present the School of Architecture candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Architecture, often referred to as the mother of all the arts, the caretaker of the built environment, and the physical embodiment of our collective imagination. I would like to recognize the next generation of leaders in the discipline of architecture. Madam President, these candidates that I present to you have completed the requirements of the university, and the faculty recommends them to you for the bachelor's degree in their respective fields of architecture.
And now, the Dean of the School of Engineering, Shekhar Gardi.
Madam President, I have the honor to present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science from the School of Engineering. Over the past 4 years, these engineers have excelled in academics, in athletics, in student clubs, and in student government. The fact that they are graduating today is a true testament to their resilience. As they face a new world, I am confident that they'll be ambassadors for science and engineering, for rational thought, for humanism, and I'm equally confident that through their creativity, empathy, ethics, and technical skills, they'll make the world a better place. Madam President, these candidates have completed the requirements of the university, and the faculty recommends them to you for bachelor's degrees in their respective fields of engineering.
And now, the Dean of the School of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences, Mary Simoni.
Madam President, I have the honor to present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science for the School of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences. Madam President, these candidates embody the spirit of what it means to have the soul of a humanist, to live and breathe the unbridled creativity that exemplifies the arts, and to act on behalf of all of humanity as we strive toward economic and social justice. Madam President, these students have completed the requirements of the university, and the faculty unequivocally recommend them to you for the bachelor's degree in their respective fields of humanities, arts, and social sciences.
And now, the Dean of the Lally School of Management, Chanaka Urdasinghe.
Congratulations, Lally graduates of 2020. You belong to a special group of graduates who are destined to change the world in the face of new challenges, new realities, and exciting opportunities. I want to wish you courage, strength, and perseverance as you embark on this new journey. Madam President, I have the honor to present the Lally School of Management candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science. Madam President, these candidates have completed the requirements of the university, and the faculty recommends them to you for the bachelor's degree in their respective fields of business and management.
And now, the Dean of the School of Science, Kurt Brenneman.
Madam President, I have the honor to present the candidates of the School of Science for the Bachelor of Science degree. To our graduates, today we formally celebrate your transition from Rensselaer science students to scientifically literate leaders of tomorrow. You've invested hundreds of hours studying in class and working on projects, and have spent many more hours in laboratories to master your respective fields of science. Congratulations. Most of you have engaged in research that's already advanced the frontiers of knowledge. Your Rensselaer science education will continue to serve you well in future endeavors, although you'll never stop being a student of science and a lifelong learner. The world has changed a lot recently, and it's up to you to make it a better world. You've forged the tools to make it happen. You're the next generation of professionals who will make the newest discoveries, pave the way for new technologies, and quite literally change the world for the better. Your focus on applying science to the common purposes of life has recently taken on a new and critical meaning. Even a brief glance at the evening news emphasizes the critical role that science is playing in mitigating the COVID-19 pandemic and making the world a safer place again. You're about to play a big part in rebuilding our world in the post-pandemic era. Fortunately, by virtue of your Rensselaer education, you've become experts in solving problems that have not yet even been envisioned. We're proud of you all. We'll be relying on you to make a better world for all of us. We hope you keep in touch with us while you do it. Madam President, these candidates have completed the requirements of the university, and the faculty recommends them to you for the bachelor's degree in their respective fields of science.
And now, the Director of the Information Technology and Web Science Program, Peter Fox.
Madam President, I have the honor to present the candidates of the Interdisciplinary Information Technology and Web Science Program for the Bachelor of Science degree. These candidates will go on to be the CTOs, the CIOs, and the Chief Digital Officers of our future world, that they will indeed change for the better. Madam President, these candidates have completed the requirements of the university, and the faculty recommends them to you for the bachelor's degree in their respective fields of science.
In accordance with the laws of the State of New York, upon the recommendation of the faculty, with the approval of the Board of Trustees, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, I proudly admit each of you to the bachelor's degree with all the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining. We congratulate you and extend our sincere best wishes.
And now we present Matthew Siegel, Class of '85, President of the Rensselaer Alumni Association.
Hello, my name is Matt Siegel. I am a proud member of the Class of 1985, and I am the current President of the Rensselaer Alumni Association. On behalf of all our alumni around the world, I am very honored to welcome you, the graduates of the Class of 2020, as our newest members. Since 1824, our graduates have been instructed in the application of science to the common purposes of life. For generations, our alumni have been and continue to be among the very best at changing the world for the better. This is who Rensselaer alumni are, and this is what Rensselaer alumni do. When our alumni first formed the Association of Graduates in 1869, its constitution and bylaws stated the objectives of the association. First, the promotion of mutual acquaintance and the scientific improvement of its members. Second, the advancement in all proper and practicable ways of the interests of the Institute. As volunteers, the RAA continues to work toward those same objectives today. It can be a powerful global support network of nearly 100,000 alumni and alumnae around the world, and now you are a part of it. Our regional alumni chapters are ready to welcome you. These RAA chapters, in partnership with the Rensselaer Office of Alumni Relations, offer you opportunities to continue learning and growing together while working to strengthen our global alumni community and our alma mater. As an alumnus or an alumna, you are a vital part of the RPI family. You are always welcome on campus, and please think of our Hefner Alumni House as your home away from home. I hope your time here on campus has meant as much to you as mine has meant for me. I also hope you are very proud of what you have accomplished here at RPI. I know we are very proud of you. On behalf of all your fellow members of the Rensselaer Alumni Association, I wish you much success and congratulations on all you have accomplished here at Rensselaer. Best of luck to each and every one of you.
When the public health situation allows us to do so, we will come together in person to celebrate our graduates and to express our pride in their successes and our gratitude for the sacrifices they have made for our collective well-being. Until then, be well, stay safe, and keep your loved ones close and keep them safe. I thank you for joining us.
Here's to old RPI, her fame may never die. Here's to old Rensselaer, she stands today without a peer. Here's to those olden days, here's to those golden days, here's to the friends we've made at dear old RPI. Bum, bum, bum. Here's to old RPI, her fame may never die. Here's to old Rensselaer, she stands today without a peer. Here's to those old